Hey everybody, it's Gypsy and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. It's Sunday. I'm not at the flea market because this is what I'm putting up with today. Again, this winter is never ending. We can't even remember last time we saw the grass. It's been so long. Anyways, yeah, on the weekends, I talk more about social issues, spiritual growth, spirituality, spirit communications, stuff like that. Gardening and cooking and my arts typically is during the week. So it is Sunday. And usually I do these talks when I drive to the flea market, except this weekend that has not happened. So I'm doing it from my art studio right now. Wow. So here's something I have been thinking about. Well, I've been thinking about this year for like many, many years, long before things got really bad. I suppose most of my life I have thought about this. Now you have this thing with working. Okay, you have, all right, now I'm just generalizing here. I know it's not like 100% across the board, but you have like the older people complaining, the younger ones are lazy. Now, this is not really new, it happens every generation, but now with this shift or change that is going on with our society across the globe, whatever. It's more of a conflict, I'm going to say. The younger people, they want to see a change, is what I am picking up on. And, we had during COVID where people either worked from home or didn't go in. And you can't help but enjoy that. You can't. I'm from a time where you got a job and you took that job. Didn't matter if you liked it or not. Your responsibility was to support yourself and your family if you had one. And your likes and dislikes did not matter. Your talents out the window, unless you were lucky enough to have a talent or ability that during this, couple decades ago, a few decades, Michelle, I'm delusional. I forget how old I am. If you're lucky enough to have a talent or something, that would make you money, unlike being an artist. Anyways, I have always felt that society had changed so much from my grandparents' time, even my parents' time. That family was just the importance of family, and putting your family first just was gone. And that's sad. I always believe we should have choices. And we keep getting ourselves stuck in a way that we don't have choices, or we feel we don't. I think that's more of a perception we have, because as mass consensus, we have created a reality that made it so you don't have the choice, especially when it comes to work. Okay, so you have the older people, I'm going to say my age and up, who, we worked, 40, 50, 60, even up to 80 hours a week. I don't know how people manage that, but it's all people ever thought of. I remember, especially back in the 80s, everybody, I work like 7 days a week, 80, they were proud of that. And I'm like, why? I never understood why. I definitely did not fit in with my time period. I suppose that comes from being very into with the spirit realm, and being an artist gives you that attitude. Nobody ever thought of family. Okay, and now it's even worse. Now they don't even want you to have families anymore. I'm worried I will never be a grandmother, and my family ends here and now, with my son. And I love children and stuff, and I think it's sad. But here's the thing. We have put ourselves in this position, or we allowed the elites to put us in this position where we have to work all these hours. And not only that, both parents have to work. Okay, so these parents, they have children. And a lot of these people have aging parents, okay? So families can no longer take care of each other. Guess who does? Big Brother. And I don't think they do a very good job of it. Because my mother was in a nursing home. And she finally, on December 8th, 2023, escaped from the asylum. What I mean is, she died. Her body died, and she crossed over into freedom. Okay? Now, it broke my heart to see my mother in a nursing home. Because, well, if you knew my mother, I mean, she was like always cooking and doing all this stuff, and she was a force to be reckoned with. I just glanced over at my parents' wedding picture. I should show it to you guys. See, my parents got married on October 19th, 1963. I was born November 3rd, 1964. They were not, they wanted a family. Or is my father, who was German and Welsh, married a Sicilian woman, Italian woman. He always tells everybody, you can't even look at an Italian woman. If you have an Italian wife, don't even sneeze in her direction. She will get pregnant. That's not your guys. Just got dusty. But anyways, this is my parents on their wedding day. So anyways, my mom, always doing stuff, very strong personality, etc. And then to see her end up in a nursing home, she didn't look like herself. She didn't act like herself. She didn't resemble my mother at all. So that's why I say escaped. Even for someone like me, if I died like in a car accident today, I would be like, I escaped from the asylum. That's the way I look at this. But anyways, I'm joking. Then I did not get time with my children. I did not become a mother to send my children off for someone else to care for while I went to work. I remember, oh my God, in my 20s, okay? My oldest son, it's the only child I had at that time, working full time. Then I leave work. Well, first in the morning, oh my God, I was not a morning person. At that time in my life, I always slept late. Now, I don't have any place to be, and I'm up before the sun. It's called old age. Anyways, I remember, you rush in the morning to get ready or for school or wherever he was going to be so I could go to work. Then, after a full day's work, you come home, you pick him up, you make dinner, you have dinner, help with homework, get them ready for bed, put them to bed. And if you have 2 hours with your kids where you can actually spend quality time, etc. So family kind of disappeared. Now, I feel this was all by design. And, so when I hear young people, wanting to work from home, I am kind of on their side. Now, I'm going to say, because, this is a huge assumption, because I never did it, but when you work from home, that has got to take a great deal of self-discipline, okay? You have to really, you're in your home and, you might have your kids around, whatever, or you don't have kids, but even so, you don't have kids, you're at home, it's your space, and oh, wait, I want to do that, or that needs to be done, whatever. So it's got to take a great deal of self-discipline. However, if you have self-discipline, I think it's a great idea. That being said, I believe our work week is too long. Okay. Now, again, for most people, they cannot work at home. There's a very large white dog over here wanting to go outside. You can wait a minute. You know, it's snowing out there. It's his favorite day. Whoa. My camera just got unfocused. I think the spirits might want to back up for my technology. Everybody. Anyways, I hate when that happens. Well, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I believe that if someone is paying you, if you're not working for yourself, I think, where you have the most self-discipline to work at home is when you have your own business and you work at home. Then you have discipline because it's yours. And that makes sense to me that, maybe we all should have our own businesses and stuff. Because I think we're more productive. It's more important to us when it's ours and not somebody else's. But going if you're going to go to the workplace, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I just feel too much of our time is spent there. I feel and this is for people who are single and don't have children too. I'm talking about because I feel like what they call me time is not selfish. You need to take care of yourself. First of all, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So I believe, yes, if someone's paying you to come into the office or into a certain facility to work for them, you should do it. However, on the other hand, we do need that me time. And then you need time for your family, especially you're raising children, you have a family member who's sick, whatever, you need to care for them. That should always come first. You and your family. So this kind of rift we have between people who don't really want to be in the office. I can understand that. I worked in an office all my working life, and believe me, I can understand that. Especially, I had other things I want to do, especially be with my children. So, it's hard. And I get it, but I think this rift, all right, oh no, you got to work all these hours and support your family and stuff like that. And then you have either less hours or work from home. I understand both sides. And I think the reason it's happening is because a change in the way our workforce runs is coming. First of all, there's going to be less working for the elite, more taking care of us. Okay? Now, I'm sure there are people who, are fine with the old way. And I'm sure they will still have that. But things are kind of splitting, okay? And I believe, one, if a woman wants to stay home and take care of her family, it should be a thing and not frowned upon. I just heard about this poor woman. Little children. She's a stay-at-home mom. The doctor. She was having stress and stuff. The doctor must not be a parent, obviously. Because, I'm sorry. Because the woman couldn't possibly be under stress because she didn't have a job. She has the most important job in the universe. Taking care of her family, raising the next generation. Do you know how stressful it is? Believe me. All right. It is stressful. It is. Because believe me, those little people that you're raising and taking care of, if you don't have children, it's good, because I remember before I had kids, I could not conceive of this. You love them more than anything. And I mean anything. And you worry, you're taking care of them. And then they piss you off. and then you want to like kill them temporarily. Believe me, you don't want to do it permanently, because I'm a grieving mother. I lost two babies, two different pregnancies, and then my adult 26-year-old son died almost 11 years ago. So believe me, you don't want to do it permanently, but I understand there are times. Anyways, but you love them more than anything, and they're your world, and they do cause you stress, either purposely or by accident. Okay, believe me, there's nothing more stressful than being a parent, because that is the most important job ever. Now, I am not diminishing those who are not parents. Not everybody came into this life to be parents. Some people came into not have children, not for that purpose, but not with the intention of having children. Their purpose, which is also very important, is something else. Okay? So I'm not saying that, but I do know raising up the next generation is important. Family is important, and community is important. Okay, a small community. But anyways, I just wish people would have more understanding. Okay, so like when Elon Musk took over Twitter, we named it and did a house cleaning, I agreed with what he was doing. I understood his reasoning. Okay, if I'm going to pay you, you're going to do things my way, and you're going to come into the office. We are not going to be wasting money anymore. Okay, I understand that, because he's a good businessman. So that's how business works, which is why I'm saying, if you want to go work for someone else, you do have to follow their rules. However, I do think the work week needs to be cut back, because people need me time and family time, community time. I don't know. It's like all this stuff going on. And now this thing about work, I have felt like, since I probably first started working since a teenager. Because it's true. You need more time. Family time, me time, family time. You need to be able to enjoy life. I don't understand people who work constantly, nonstop, don't do anything else, and they say they enjoy life. Well, I guess if you enjoy that, I can't imagine that. But I think we need to stop judging each other on that, because some people are not, well, I'd probably say most, are not cut out to go into an office for the majority of their life. Okay, it doesn't make sense to me to come into a life and you have a life, but you don't have a life because you're so busy slaving for someone else. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if people are understanding what I'm saying. I don't believe in laziness. I can't imagine laziness, because, well, I'm always doing something. Always. I cannot sit and do nothing. I cannot stare at a computer screen all the time, playing games or whatever on social media. I'm always busy. To me, that's not being lazy, okay? If you're home doing stuff, doing your own thing, living your passion, that's not lazy. Excuse me. I've got my raw milk. Shh. No, I don't have to shh anymore. Soon I won't. Yeah. It's just, it's your life. You should be able to live it and freely. To me, I have this dream that, I always say everybody comes into their lives with talents and abilities that benefit society. The problem is our society thinks a lot of this stuff is not beneficial, but it is. And I think I was going to say expanding, but I'm going to say growing, maturing to the point where we're going to start understanding that. I think we already have started. So if people are using their talents and their abilities, and your talents, your abilities are your passions, using that to contribute to society, it's going to change everything. And then we won't have this thing about work weeks and calling each other lazy and not doing this and that. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. I wish we would get there already. I do. This weather is getting to me. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.